Hey guys, welcome to the next video on Jenkins tutorial for beginners. In this video, we will see how to do some of the basic configurations in Jenkins using a section called Configure System in Manage Jenkins. So when I click on Manage Jenkins, there is a section called Configure System, and here we can do some of the basic configurations about Jenkins. So we will start from the top. The first option here is home directory, and you will see the location of your Jenkins home directory in the file system. So when I copy this path and when I open the terminal and I will cd to this path, you will be able to see all the configurations file or Jenkins related files are present inside this directory. So you will see config.xml file, you will see jobs directories, nodes directories, plugins directories where all the plugins will be installed, or the users directory and the workspace directory. So all the configurations related to Jenkins you can do here. And when I click on this question mark here beside this option, you will be able to see more information about this option. So by default, Jenkins stores all of its data in this directory on the file system. There are few ways to change the Jenkins home directory. So this is the procedure which is given here to change the home directory of this Jenkins. So if you have the good reason to change it, you can follow these instructions to change the home directory. Now, second option here is system message. So this is the message you can show on the home page of Jenkins. So for example, I can just write some message here. This is my Jenkins home page, let's say, okay, and I will just save this option. And when I save this option, you will be able to see this message is displayed on the top of your home page above all the Jenkins job. So I will once again go to the configure system, and this system message also supports the HTML tags. Now you can see a little section here which says plain text. This is the support format which this box will support. Now we can change it to support the HTML. So for that we need to go to the manage Jenkins option once again, and then go to the configure global security, and inside the configure global security you will be able to find a section called markup formatter, and by default it's plain text here selected. We can choose the safe HTML here, and then we can just save this option. And once you save this option, we can just refresh this configure page, and now you will see here safe HTML is displayed here. So this is the default format which this message will support. So for example, now I can use the HTML tags here. For example, I want to just show this message in h1 tag, so I can just use this h1 tag here, h1, and then I can preview this message from here. So I can just click here, and this message will be displayed like this on my home page. Let me save it and let's verify this. So you can see it's shown in the h1 tags now, this system message. So this is how you can just display the system message here. Now the next option here is the number of executors, and for example this number is 2 by default. That means that 2 jobs can run parallelly on this Jenkins, right? If I can change it to 5, then it will allow the 5 jobs to run parallelly. So you can change this number from here, number of executors. The next option is labels. This is a little bit detailed concept when we use the master slave concept and nodes. We will see how to use labels. So I'm going to leave this for now. We will see how labels work in the future lectures. Now the next section here is the usage, and by default the usage here is use this node as much as possible. Because we only have one Jenkins node, which is this node, that's why the default option is use this node as much as possible. But when we will learn how to create nodes and how to provide labels to our nodes, then later we will be able to choose this option which says only build jobs with labels expression matching this node. So this we will learn later when we will see how to create nodes and how to assign labels to our nodes. So for now I will leave it as default. For more information you can just click on this question mark, and you will see some more description about this usage section. So controls how Jenkins schedules build on this node. Okay, so you can read more about this option here. Now the next option is the quiet period. Now the quiet period, it's in second. I'm going to just click on the question mark once again, and here it says when this option is checked, newly triggered builds of this project will be added to the queue, but the Jenkins will wait for the specified period of time before actually starting the build. So Jenkins will wait, for example, for 5 seconds before starting this build. So sometimes, for example, you use the source code management system and your committing will take some time, or when you push your code, it takes some time to get into your GitHub repository, or for any other reason, for example, your jobs takes some time to start. You can specify this quiet period here so that your jobs or your build will start after this specified period. So by default it's 5, but you can change it in future when you feel that your Jenkins will need more time to start. So just provide the quiet period here. This will be in seconds. So after 5 seconds, your build will start after the triggering of this job. Now the next option here is SCM checkout retry count. So this is the option where, for example, you are using your SCM source code management system. Let me go to the home page and let me show you one example. So I will go into one Jenkins job here, and I will go to the configuration section here, and then I will scroll down for the build triggers, and you will see poll SCM option here. So when I select this poll SCM or GitHub hook trigger for Git's SCM polling, then this is the option for number of tries. So this Jenkins will try to connect to your GitHub, for example, this much number of times. Right now it's 0, but for example you set it to 5, then Jenkins will try 5 times to connect to your GitHub before giving or showing some error. Now the next option is restrict project naming. So let's see this option also. So by default it's default. Now you can choose the pattern option here, or you can choose the role based strategy option here also. So let's see what this pattern option do. So I'm going to click on this question mark, and you can see some description here which says define a pattern or a regular expression to check whether the job name is valid or not. So for example, I define some pattern here for the naming of my Jenkins job. So let's say I define java.*. That means my Jenkins job which I will be able to create will start from Java and not any other keyword. So let me save this option, and once this is saved, let me try to create a new Jenkins job, and let's say I just give some name here, and instantly you will see this message which says dev does not match the job name convention pattern, which is java.*, which means that your Jenkins job name should start with this Java keyword. So let's say I will just start the name with Java keyword, and now I can see that there is no warning here. Okay, any other pattern, it's going to show this warning here. Okay, so this pattern option you can use to give some kind of pattern for the naming. For now I will just choose it as default, so I'm going to just revert it back to the default option. But if you want, you can just change it to anything you want in the future. Okay, now next section here is the global properties, and in the global properties you will see two options here. One is environment variables. So here you can give all the environment variables which you want to give to your Jenkins job globally. For example, so let's say I want to give let's say Java home environment variable. I can give it from here. So I can give the value of this Java home environment variable and the name from here. Okay, or any other environment variable which you want to use in your Jenkins job execution, you can give it from here. Now the next option here is the tool location. So this is the tool location. So for example, you want to use some tool, let's say Git. So the binary path for this Git, you can give it from here. Now the next section here is the pipeline speed durability settings, and this we will see in the future videos. I'm going to skip this section for now. And then you have the usage statistics option, which will help make Jenkins better by sending the anonymous usage statistics and crash reports to the Jenkins project. So if you want this option, you can check it or uncheck it according to your needs. And then next section is the time stamper, system clock time format, and elapsed time format. This is the format which Jenkins will support, but you can see in the details, you can support any other format which is given here. So here you can just define the time format which you want to show. Now in the next section you will be able to see the Jenkins location. Before that, there is administrative monitor configuration, and you will be able to see this option which says enable administrative monitoring. And here you can see administrative monitoring are the warnings shown to Jenkins administrator about the state of Jenkins interface. So you can check these options, whatever warning you want to see. So for example, you want to see the dependency warning, or you want to see the invalid plugin warning, or if you want to see the disk usage warning, all the warnings you can set up from here. By default, every warning is selected, but let's say if you want to skip some warning, you can just uncheck this option, and then this warning will not be shown to you. Let's go to the next option here, which is the Jenkins location. By default, we are using the local host, but you can give any host name instead of this local host. Now next option is the admin email address. You can provide your admin email address here. And then you have the GitHub server option. So if you want to add some keys for your GitHub server, you can provide those keys, or you can give the name of your GitHub server here and then provide the GitHub server's credentials from here. We will see this later how we can do it. And then you have the GitHub enterprise servers. So if you are using some private servers to host your repositories like GitHub private repository, then you can add the information about that here. Now the next section is the pipeline model definition. This we will see when we will see the pipelines, how pipelines works. Then you have the build timeout plugin option. So whatever plugin you have just installed, or whatever plugins there is in your Jenkins, there are some options you can set for those plugins here. For example, so Git plugin, or Subversion plugin, Shell plugin, extend email notification plugin, and any other information you can give it here. So you have the email notification, SMTP server configuration, you can do it from here. So these are some of the basic configuration you can do for your Jenkins as an administrator. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and bye for now.